seconds. And there's Jim looks at his phone. All right, Skype is going. We're all on the road. 5, 4, 3, 2. Earnestly podcast. Post game week 3 Sunday. Although there is a game on right now as we're recording this. There's actually a Sunday night game as we're recording this, as well as WWE Extreme Rules, as me and Jim actually are tuned in now to the Peacock, of course. Peacock.
You're always tuned into the cock, EJ.
Oh, wait.
Peacock, my buddy.
I'm watching the wrong site, apparently.
You know, it's funny.
Oh, God.
I'm always organized when it comes to this show, and I have a preconceived idea what I'm going to talk about. And, yeah, we have a baseline we're going to talk about here, honestly. But, dude, today was a wacky day of football, bro. Bro. Plural.
Yeah, seriously. And you said it best, I think, in our open text exchange, where we talk stuff and make fun of people who deserve to be made fun of. But the not only in the NFL, but college football is just, they're both in their own way just completely nutty professor, just insane in a very special way. And you know what? I'm here for it.
I'm here for all of it.
Oh, this year, the first 4 weeks of college football, 4.5 if you want to count week 0, and the first 3 of the NFL. It's awesome. Like this is what I missed, and I mean, I'm thankful we had any sort of a seasons last year with everything going on.
True.
But the return to football this year has really been a blast, and it's nutty as hell. And I'm thankful that once again this week my college team came out on the other side, because there was a lot of schools that didn't in the top 15.
Humble bragging already. This fucking guy.
No, hey, listen. I'm just glad he didn't need triple overtime to beat Purdue. I'm very and to our credit, on Tuesday night, gentlemen, we did tell people that we told the world, at least I did, that Wisconsin's going to Wisconsin. And I didn't think they were going to Wisconsin quite that damn bad.
They sure did.
Do you want to start there first, college football? You want to go to Saturday first thing and then hit up Sunday? Might as well, right?
Sure, why not?
There's really 3 things that stood out to me on Saturday, honestly. Number one, and I'm going to ask you guys this. I know I'm going to get Kyle wigged out when I say it, because when I did ask him, I said the same statement on text, on our group text on Saturday. You fucking wigged out, and I told you I purposely did that to get you to react. And
yeah, that's right. The tool's claiming to play 4D chess. Isn't that adorable?
So, obviously we have the Notre Dame homer to my right here on the screen. In Big Jim, and like it or not, they're 4-0. Like it or not, that's a big win in Wisconsin, a place that they probably could have lost, and it was kind of pretty much a statement win, in my opinion. I'm not saying they're the top 10 team, top 5 team right now in college football, but I'm going to say this much right to you guys, and maybe you guys feel the same way, maybe you don't. Outside maybe Alabama and Georgia, this season does feel wide open. It does feel wide open right now for the taking.
I mean, I believe we made that statement, I think, on Huddle Up on Tuesday. And though Jim will not be performing Huddle Up this week on Tuesday, there will be other times where we will give you plenty of wisdom on Huddle Up on Tuesday nights with Big Jim's podcast. Bing!
You can light version of that today.
The only reason why, to use your words, I wigged out, is you're going to talk that BS in the very same sentence after we have the conversation about really what does the Big Ten have to offer us. Okay, when you make statement wins, the Big Ten ain't it right now. I mean, what? Penn State impresses you? No. Okay, Ohio State is looking more vulnerable than Janet Jackson in a halftime show right now, which is to say exposed. And I know I've used that joke before. Whatever. I'm going back to it. Take it,
One month, buddy. 1 month.
Bill Engvall and Jeff Foxworthy made careers of going to that joke, so you're fine.
I mean, listen, I'm well aware that if you have a 4.0 and the only place you got it is on a blood alcohol test, you might be a redneck. But see what I did there? Yeah. I can steal it too. So for you to say something stupid like, this is a statement win. Listen, just because it's somebody who didn't lose to Jacksonville State and hasn't been relevant since Drew Brees left, and I can use as a euphemism for a clean expletive in Holy Toledo, doesn't make it a statement win. The Big Ten is not impressive this year, and for you to say something that dumb as a Patriots fan would is asinine.
Man, he just hit all the greatest hits in one rant.
Wow.
It's a thing of beauty when
Kyle F. and Nash's greatest hits.
Yeah. No. I the thing is, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying there. I mean, the Big Ten is trash this year. We can Ohio State's vulnerable. I mean, Penn State did beat Auburn. Auburn is that's the SEC.
Auburn struggled to beat Georgia Southern State something or other, and I get
a team that runs the damn triple option, Jim.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I've seen teams come near and crumble to that formation. And here's the thing: I mean,
State against Georgia Tech.
it was a needed win for Notre Dame. It was a big win for Notre Dame. The statement win, if there is going to be one, will be in 6 days in South Bend when Cincinnati comes a calling.
That a beast, though. God, you're just blowing my mind that the American, again, makes Janet Jackson out of the ACC. By the way, if your dominant teams are Boston College and Wake Forest, GTFO. Moving on.
But, when Wisconsin went up 13-10, the way that game was going, I was like, that's it. At least they're not going to have to disappoint me in a playoff this year. Because it just the way that entire game was going, I'm like, they had nothing going through the entire third quarter. And then you turn the ball over, your defense holds again and holds them to a field goal. But I had no reason to believe that we were going to get up off the mat at that point and tie it, come back and win. Like it just, I've seen that game before, and I'm like, this is just one of those ones where you're going to lose a game you shouldn't lose. And then and then Wisconsin Mertzed himself, and Drew Pine coming in for the injured Jack Cohn looked like what the best answer between should we play Buckner or should we play Cohn. Drew Pine seemed to be the best answer because he's more mobile than Cohn, but he's a better passer than Buckner. So I don't know what Notre Dame's going to do at the quarterback position, but they scored 31 unanswered, and that I don't think it's a quote unquote statement win, and
wow.
I mean, this coming Saturday, I think, is the best opportunity for that Notre Dame has on their schedule this year. But it's 31 unanswered points can change the momentum of a season that has gotten off to a bumpy start.
The reason why I won't say it's not as stupid as it seems, that because if Notre Dame lost this game, everyone's going apoplectic about it. Everybody.
That's true of any of these four games. I don't think that's all the more you're making an argument against yourself actually on that, EJ. This is not a statement win because if they lose this game, I'm not going to say it's going to be as bad as, they lose to Mackenzie Milton in overtime instead of barely overcoming him, and then FSU loses to Jacksonville State.
Oh, yeah.
Holy S, right? Like, we're going just completely nuts balls here, which, by the way, Jim, as much as I do love and appreciate you, please understand that you just represented all the entitlement that the Notre Dame fan base is. This guy is still griping about the excitement of a 41-13 effing victory. Shut your face, bruh. Okay? Come on, man.
You're so dramatic, Kyle. Good God.
And you keep coming back.
That is why we love him.
That's why I love tweaking you, though.
No, that was more for effect. Like, listen, one thing I try to be fair about is when you say something stupid, I get on your case, and when Jim says something stupid, I get on his case. It's just basically, apparently, you say a lot more stupid things than Jim.
Consistent.
But before I don't know where we're moving or what we're moving on, but lest we not forget to recognize the 106th victory,
yes,
at Notre Dame by Brian Kelly, a guy, and there was a post you tagged me in today.
Jordan Bruce Greeny, a regular on this podcast too.
Dude, like he hit it right on the head. Do you have it up? You want me to grab it quick?
You can. You want me to read it?
Yeah,
I can read it for you real quick.
Y'all talking about watching the cock and having it up. And
Jordan,
I just don't know what to think.
One of my really good friends. He's a radio guy in Utah, Price, Utah.
Nice.
does play-by-play also too. He's a really good dude. If I can get this up real quick, I'll show you.
I got it right here. He said, "I've said it for years. I'll say it again.
But
if you're a Notre Dame fan and you complain about Brian Kelly's coaching, you're an idiot. No one is better walking through the door and accomplishing what he has."
Can I help you with something else and do this yet again to save your credibility yet again, Jim? I am not a Notre Dame guy, and Brian Kelly is a bad man. Must shut your mouth. Just talking about Brian, you better dig it if you wear that blue and gold. Period.
Yeah, and especially the turn since the 4-8 season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like to take that and have completely flipped the program. I mean, he changed the program when he got there.
Yes.
Then something happened in the middle term, and then he completely flipped it around again. And the ability to recognize what wasn't working, whether it was a university call, whether it was his call, whether it was somewhere in the middle, but whatever it was, it has worked. It has worked tenfold. And they're, they've won 27 straight at home. I was too young to really experience Notre Dame, Lou Holtz's Notre Dame, and everything after that until Brian Kelly was a living hell. So the last decade or so with Brian Kelly, for the most part, take away a 5-7 season here or 4-8 season there. It's been spectacular. Anybody that still thinks this guy shouldn't be the head coach or should have been fired years ago should just remain silent on the sidelines when talking about Notre Dame football.
What's the stat I keep dropping for you, Jim?
4 straight 10 wins.
Only coach to do it in Notre Dame history. Thank you, sir. Carry on.
Now he's the most in history.
Ty Whittingham.
Oh, Jesus.
Brian fucking Kelly. And
don't bring up Ty Willingham, because that's, again, on Jim's behalf to save his credibility. That's sad. He started out with a great streak and just went completely to hell. I still heard about that. Again, not a Notre Dame guy.
Neither am I. Can't stand school. You know how I feel about them, but it is what it is, and I agree with everything what Jordan said. Just saying.
Well,
but to me, the big high of the weekend for me, obviously, now obviously Florida State lost 0-4, whatever. It is what it is. Clemson lost again.
Yeah, baby.
Controversy Raphael Haynes was at that game, and I'll tell you, the elation in that press conference by Georgia Tech quarterback Jeff Sims is genuine. It's in gold, and perhaps you should check that out on the 3-point conversion YouTube page.
I will do that. Ding. What's your ding at, Jim?
Dude, I can't get sound bites to work through Skype with you.
I have had the same problem. Yes, sir. I know where you live with that.
It's a nightmare.
I'll have to borrow yours again, probably.
It's probably EJ's security feed ruining it.
Yeah, I open the doors, man. No, can we just say it? Clemson sucks. What there?
I think that's I think that's overly simple, to be honest. Let's be clear, okay? Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, both depart. Okay, the beef is not what it was before. Say what you will about who's at the helm now instead of Lawrence. He's not the problem. I think them missing Etienne is huge, not just for production, but for protection. That O-line we've cited is an issue. Listen, sometimes programs need to rebuild. If we're going to cut Brian Kelly that slack, we got to give Dabo that same slack regardless about how people on this podcast feel about it.
Hashtag fuck Dabo.
By the way,
I think you hit a great point there. One season, regardless of what the issue or issues are with Clemson's football team this year. I mean, you graduate. The fact that they went from Deshaun Watson to Trevor Lawrence and it was a seamless transition.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it seem like you're just going to be able to do that quarterback to quarterback to quarterback. And when you see what Alabama does a couple seasons here or there that they obviously didn't make the final or didn't win a national title, that they can reload and reload and reload and reload. Like, people start to think that there's certain schools at the very top that it's going to be that simple. And there's going to come a point, hopefully in my lifetime, that Alabama it's not that their auto reload stops reloading
One day.
But with Clemson this year, you moved, I mean, generational talents, for at least for most schools. For Clemson, you had a couple in a row, but if you want to use the word suck for this year, sure. Something's going on there. I don't care necessarily to try to figure it out. I just like seeing them drop 18 spots in the polls, although I find it odd that they're still 25th. Like, you're just doing that to keep their streak rolling, I think.
That reminds me of Clemson back in the mid 90s. It's kind of a fun place to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they, it only becomes a quote unquote pattern if it happens more than just this season. So
I'm obviously overplaying it when I say they suck. They don't suck. Dabble doesn't suck. I just don't like the guy anymore. But what I'm enjoying, but what sucks for me personally is the fact that you get in a bad UM year, you get in a bad Clemson year, and Florida State is even worse.
Well, and in fairness, I do need to correct myself. I mentioned Georgia Tech. I got that mixed up. I'm sorry. I got the North Carolinas mixed up. It's North Carolina State that toppled Clemson. Yeah. What I'm talking about is Georgia Tech beating the real fraud in the ACC, Sam Howell and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Danny Thompson. Handle the truth. # Beyond the Buzzer. Shout out.
Let's do this thing real quick. So obviously we're only late September. We got a lot of what we played. But it's safe to say ACC done in the playoff.
No, it's not. It is not safe to say that at all. Not as long as current and former ADs from that conference sit on that committee.
Man, I don't know. I get what you're saying, Kyle, and I've watched them. I've watched dumb things happen, but the current highest ranked team from the ACC
it's either Wake Forest or Boston College. I'm aware of that.
No, the highest ranked ACC team currently right now is NC State at 23. Now I get this is the AP poll, and when the playoff polls come out, it'll be, but I have a hard time believing, because the rest of NC State's schedule is no ranked teams.
Listen, sir, I appreciate your use of logic. What you sound like is a UCF fan in 2017 or 2018 trying to convince me that the committee will let them into the playoff, and it's not going to happen.
Well, I'm not saying that an AAC team is going to get into the playoff. What I'm saying is an ACC team will not.
Right, and you're hoping that the opposite doesn't
hold
true
with that
for my argument. Yeah, and that's where I'm at too. Like I'm that jaded by the committee. No, not so much by their hatred of the AAC necessarily, although you can't help but notice how much stronger they are than the ACC and how scared they've been of them, and that's undeniable. Although they will deny it, listen, I know the facts of the case, and they are not dispute. # Kevin Bacon. But what I will say is,
of course,
I'm glad somebody got that reference. Thank God. What I will say is the committee has proven they'll do their damnedest to protect their own. Now, to your point, Jim, they can only do so much defense.
Right. But EJ said the ACC's dead for the playoff, and I agree. I'll agree with that.
Is that first off, you're likely going to see two teams in the ACC get in the playoff right now at this point. Okay, I don't know the Pac-12 holds up. I don't know the Big Ten holds up at all. Mm-hmm. We'll probably see two SEC teams get in there. We'll probably most likely see Oklahoma get in there. I mean, I don't see. Is there any way they lose a game? I mean, I know they're not.
Lost West Virginia.
Yeah, but again, the schedule allows them to do the job. It's fine.
So, I mean, the implication that you don't think they can lose, I think, is incorrect.
Well,
I mean, the odds are that they're going to finish undefeated, but
it looks favorable, I'll grant. And actually, the best defense that either of you can truly muster to my pessimism, in my opinion, is very simple. Clemson has 2 losses. That's a lot of magic they have to pull. And I agree with that concept for sure. I'm just, let them play themselves out completely before I start waving that flag.
Yeah, I totally get Kyle's, pessimism. I'm with you. I definitely see both points here. I just think 2 losses.
The best part about this right now, and again, I understand we're sitting here after week 4, and we're what 3 weeks from the first playoff ranking, and Georgia and Arkansas both in the top 10 play each other this upcoming week. So things are always going to move. But
correct.
Looking at the current, the just released today, and this is a drastic change from what we talked about on Facebook.com/HuddleUpPodcast. Subscribe on all podcast platforms. On Tuesday night. But you have Alabama and Georgia at the top. Oregon still number 3. Then Penn State moves up to number 4. Oklahoma or Iowa stays at 5. Then Oklahoma. Cincinnati, Arkansas, Notre Dame, Florida at 10. Ohio State at 11. Ole Miss up. BYU up. Michigan up at 14. Texas A&M down to 15. So, you go back to the preseason, which is a whole nother issue in and of itself, but preseason rankings to now, and things dramatically look very different, and we're not even halfway gone. That's the exciting part to me. I can say, yeah, ACC's 99.9 repeating % dead, but beyond that, I can think, is Oklahoma going to do it? Is the Pac-12 going to hold on? I figure there's probably going to be a Big Ten team, but the best part is none of us know, and that's the exciting part.
And yeah, it's none of us know that make me cling to my pessimism as well. It's a double-edged sword there, partner. But EJ, I'll give you this credit for all the garbage tool-ass takes that you've had. I'm kidding. For all the takes that you've had so far this year, sir. Your take about the Pac-12 will represent in the top 4, I think, is damn strong. So
you got Oregon, obviously doing their thing.
Doesn't have to be Oregon necessarily. Could be UCLA.
Okay, that's true too. If they lost, this is the wacky year, dude. This is such a wacky year.
UCLA's at 20, and I think they still have to play each other at least once. Yeah. So sure. UCLA plays Oregon in a couple of weeks, and then they could potentially play again, I think, in the Pac-12 title game. So those are 2 big wins for UCLA. Definitely in play.
Well, we're trying to touch on more college football in the weeks to come because this has been a fantastic first month of the year. I'm enjoying the year. But let's get to the NFL.
On the NFL.
Huh? Yeah, on the NFL.
Oh, and one last side note. The one scenario that I will accept Notre Dame making the playoff is if they do it instead of effing Oklahoma. Okay? Enough with that. Moving on.
Thank you.
All right. I guess we can start with the big game of the day, Rams and Bucks.
You okay? First of all, EJ.
Say it again.
You okay?
Game. What did you learn?
Can we hug you through the screen?
I guess what did we learn? Because to me, my thing was this: this is about the Rams. The Bucks will be there in the end. They'll be there. The playoffs. They're going to be there. They're champs. They've already proven what they can do. They have the stack roster. The Rams are the new kids on the block now, the new quarterback. So this is more about them and the perception of how good they really are. As I said before the year started, this was my NFC title game prediction, and they more than passed the test so far. Decent perception right now.
Yeah, I mean, if that defense stays healthy, if Cooper Kupp stays healthy, because he seems to be Matthew Stafford's favorite new toy to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that team is going to be hard. That's going to be a hard out. Seattle shaky.
Yeah.
Arizona shaky.
You're gonna go that way, huh? Arizona shaky, huh? Okay. I mean,
they skated by Minnesota last week, and Jacksonville. You're there, Kyle.
I was in Jacksonville, and honestly, in order to keep that game close, the Jags needed not only a record-long field goal attempt to miss, ball short, but needed a record-scoring 109-yard touchdown to stay in the game. Now, I will grant Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good, and there were some, I would call these coaching mistakes that took place to set up.
Can we talk about real quick, though, because you were there in attendance in the press box.
Yes, sir.
I texted you when it happened, and then you responded to me with I missed it. You missed the play initially?
No, I did not miss the play. I was talking trash.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I saw it, and I told my buddy I was there with, Captain Chris Hill of A7BN Sports and the Captain and Company Morning Show on oldschool101.com. Bing! I told him when Matt Prater lined up for the 68-yarder, hey, get your camera out. There's something history gonna be here. And I had no idea it was going to go the other way, 109 effing yards.
Well, and I mean, we've seen that play. We've obviously seen it before a couple of times. And
but this isn't like Nathan Vasher doing it against the Niners and getting away with 3 blocks in the back helping him. This was an actual legit return by Jamal Agnew.
That was a hell of a run. A hell of a run back.
Sick.
And when I say Arizona's shaky, I'm not, it was a close first half. They opened it up in the second, but in 3 games, obviously last week shaky against Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota is better than I think they are. I don't know. I would put Arizona third. I mean, to me, Seattle's at the bottom of the West right now, and inappropriately so. But the Rams, not just in that division, which we all agree is the toughest in the NFC at least, if
it's
not
the league, Jim.
It's the NFL. I'm really good to the NFL still.
So not only are the Rams the best in that division, but they're going to be a hard out by any of the teams that make the playoffs, as long as health doesn't get in the way.
And I don't want to be accused of being a homer here, gentlemen, but the Jags have kept it close in the first half of all their games. Okay, it's later in the game when details start to go awry, where you start getting rookie mistakes. And I don't necessarily mean rookie as in Trevor Lawrence. I mean rookie as in Urban Meyer as an NFL head coach. Listen, you put your quarterback in this play, the pick six on the flea flicker defines it here, okay? It's a situation where your tackle and right guard on the same side are both out for the moment, dealing with injuries. The same side as J.J. effing Watt. And your offensive coordinator calls a flea flicker, and Arizona came with a run blitz because you were starting to move the ball with the run. Now, I get the concept to throw it in there to fool him, but damn it, you better have future Hall of Famer J.J. Watt accounted for if you're going to run that ish. And Urban Meyer said it at the presser. He heard it come over the comm. He had the opportunity to veto it and did not. Trevor Lawrence, being a rookie himself, throws a ball, even though DJ Chark breaks
that throw
mad up down the field, throws not so much a great throw for somebody who's trying to do it off their back foot as, J.J. Watt is doing his best. Yes, a juggernaut. That's the reason he's wearing red now, I'm thinking. They're going to cast him for the MCU, damn it.
Juggernaut, bitch.
Yes, a juggernaut, bitch. Thank you. Somebody got the reference. I love it. And you're going to try to put Trevor Lawrence on blast. No, that was a bad play from play one. It should have never been called in that in that matchup. The situation doesn't bother me. The matchup was horrible.
Oh yeah, I mean,
wait, hold on, Kyle. There you go,
my man.
I enjoy watching Trevor Lawrence struggle, but I enjoy watching Urban Meyer struggle more. Why? I've never been an Urban Meyer guy. And I think I thought that he was going to be in over his head, and maybe it's a 1 year thing that he's in over his head. Time will tell on it. But watching him, just there's been shots of him on the sideline where he just looks like he doesn't know what he's in an algebra class and they're asking him geometry questions. Like he just doesn't. He's like lost where he is in the book. He's looking for the right page, and that was a great analysis. Like that why how are you not overriding that decision? To do that in that spot, and whether it comes with experience for him or it never does, time will tell. But I enjoy watching Urban Meyer struggle.
That being said, Jim, while I appreciate your appreciation of my analysis, I refuse to be a member, similar to a member of a lot of the other media there in Jacksonville who are going to work on him as if they hate him just as much, if not more, than you do. That's the thing about taking a job in North Florida, by the way, when you abandon them at the college level and come back in the NFL ranks. They apparently will attack your ass in the press conference. But by the same token, let's be clear, as much as you also claim to watch Sunshine fail under center, there's at least 2 or 3 drives every game where he strings it together beautifully, and it is poetry and art form in motion. And let's give that defense a little credit, okay? The best receiver core, hands down, in the league. That's right, I said it. DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Green, and Christian Kirk. And you held them to, what was it, 1 score in the first half, and the reason for other scores were 14 points off of turnovers in a 31-point game, meaning they scored 17 points as an offense with that receiving core. Are things going right in Jacksonville? I just have bad news for you.
I'm not putting them at the basement of the league.
No, there'll be a New York team there.
I was about to say that would be
teams with an S, EJ. Teams. New York teams.
Excellent point, Jim. Bing.
I don't know. The Giants. Well, I have the Jets at number 32. Mine.
The best throw at the Meadowlands today was the one that Eli threw to Tyree during the ceremony. That's all I have to say.
Oh no!
No, I will say. Well, the thing with the Giants, though, look, they're terrible. You know, I'm not gonna be love, but the last 2 games they lost by lasting a field goals.
Yeah,
at least like that.
Can't say that for the Jets, can we?
Nope.
Oof. No,
I tried to warn you kids about Zach Wilson. I really did.
Yeah, you did. What else?
Putting the guy in Canton, for the record.
Oh no! No, sir. With all due respect, there were people out there telling me he was going to thrive. I'm like, y'all fools! Look at the ball game. Y'all fools didn't see how many scratches UCF had in that bowl game, and while they did look like it on a rusty nail, and it still confuses UCF fans as to why Josh Heupel still got a job after that game.
Let me say this real quick. The Chiefs, real quick. 1-2. The result today, not surprising, to be honest with you. I totally might take the points on the San Diego Chargers. Whatever. I'm calling San Diego. Fuck them. 1-2. But
the San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles. If the Angels are going to do it, let the fucking Chargers do it too.
Oh, great. You're both baseball.
We may not see this snapshot again beyond this week, but the Chargers right now are in last place in the AFC West.
You mean the Chiefs are in last place?
2-1 Chargers.
The Chiefs are. You're saying Chargers.
Sorry, Chiefs. I apologize. Chargers beat the Chiefs today. We may not see this again after this week. I'm just saying. Concern, KC?
Look at the schedule. Look at their schedule. What do they have to be concerned about? They have played 3 fantastic football teams. And keep in mind, the only reason why I would have clearly picked the Chiefs over the Chargers, and I got me doing it, the Chiefs over the Los Angeles Chargers is because it was at Arrowhead and nothing else. But then we're also reminded that Justin Herbert came out as a rookie and damn near got outshot Patrick LaVon Mahomes II. They just found a way to actually finish it this time.
Yep.
Things get a lot better for the Chiefs after today. At Philly, then you're home against Buffalo. That one, Buffalo.
That's tough.
Buffalo's tough. Buffalo looks real good. Then you got Washington football team, Titans, Giants, Packers.
That's a win. Maybe a loss, but win.
At the Raiders.
I'm gonna say win.
You know, so like, and then before their bye week, they have Dallas, which at this point, I'm gonna say is flip a coin, because we don't know what either team truly is at this point.
I'm gonna have to overrule your objection though, Jim. Overall, as schedules go, that stays pretty tough. If the weakest team on your schedule is either the Red Tails or the Eagles, you're not that bad off, because I don't hear Houston. I don't hear, no offense, Jacksonville. I don't hear anybody in East Rutherford. Okay? I don't hear Detroit.
Yeah, the Giants were there November 1st.
Yep, it's a loss.
Okay. that may be, I'm not looking at it in front of me as Jim is, but you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that may be the one true cupcake that I see yet. Except I think the Giants, listen, this is, and you're talking about the Cowboys, Jim. I appreciate your ability to try to stay unbiased. I know EJ struggles to do that with the Patriots, but you're forgetting already that your team damn near upset the Super Bowl champions to start the effing season, and that's your powder puff.
Well,
listen,
I think Dallas is better than people give credit for it. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that later on, but
if you're concerned with the Chiefs, if you're talking, are they going to win the division? I think you can have a little bit of concern. I don't think there's a concern that they're going to miss the playoffs, because at some point the Broncos are going to remember who they are. At some point, you have 2 games against the Raiders, win those. I mean, when you start 1-2, I mean, and it sounds funny when we have an extra game on the season, but like when you start 1-2, yes, I can see why there's concern. But again, we're talking about a team who has played a lot of football in the last couple of years.
Yep.
And when that's what I'm going to say, Jim, is that because normally that apply, at least in my case, that applies to the NBA heavily. Does that apply also to the NFL too, also, you believe?
Absolutely.
100%. And also, when you are at the top, it is hard to stay at the top. And, and I think, EJ, you may have said it, that, when with the Bucks and the Rams, there's a team that might be a little bit hungrier there, and that's the Rams. So you're in a division of teams that are hungrier and they don't know what it's like to win. You know what it's like to win. You may kind of forget what it's like to lose. So if you go 1-2, maybe a couple of weeks out, you're sitting there at 2-4. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, that defense, that environment in Kansas City, they will correct it. They will make the playoffs, and then it's a brand new season. So yeah, they may not win the division. Raiders, Chargers, one of those might end up winning the division, because it ain't going to be the Broncos. But but the Chiefs will make the playoffs. The Chiefs will be fine. They may not be the automatic Super Bowl contender that we thought they were, but you get them in the playoffs, and then Mahomes and Andy Reid can take over. And Andy Reid has proven himself as a playoff hell of a playoff coach.
Well, and here's the 2 things I would add on top of that gold you just dropped there, Jim. EJ.
Yes.
Your boy Tom Brady, you just tried to tell me he was less hungry for winning. And the words of Nick Fury, let me get my eye patch. Wait. Please, you've been to space. Okay?
I kind of said that. I mean, and I'm not saying that Brady's not hungry. I'm saying that the Rams as a team may be hungrier than the Buccaneers.
I mean, maybe. But it's not like it's been forever since they've been to the Super Bowl either, ladies and gentlemen.
3 years ago. 2 years ago.
When was the last time Matt Stafford was in? Don't underestimate a locker room uniting around a single player.
First of all, thank you for leading me to my next point so gracefully as you did there, Jim.
Nice segue. We're good at this stuff. This is how you know Terry Free's great in this podcast. Like, we do it so often now that we just know the segues.
Listen, put the beaker down. I need to make this point for both our sakes, EJ. We've been trying to tell you MFers about Matthew Stafford and dupeds, lacking a better term, like our good friend GWSTWLIO, keep trying to shut down any praise.
Love you, G, but you're wrong.
That Stafford. No, screw that. I gave him props last time. He's going to take some ish now.
I'm going to call him tomorrow. Let him know he's in this.
Okay? You just need to handle the fact that maybe Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than you're giving him credit.
I've been saying it for a long time now.
Sir.
I mean, the only, literally, like, and I understand they had Megatron, but the only reason for a lot of years that the Lions even won the games that they won was because of that man.
And please remember, Jim, after Megatron left, he's still slinging it all over the damn yard.
Absolutely. I mean, 40,000 yards after 40,000. I mean, he 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 5,000. he never stopped, and he always played from behind. Like, you have a guy who had to throw 57 passes in a game, like numerous games out of the season, and he just did it. And he led a touchdown drive with a shoulder that was out. Right. That's to me still one of the greatest clips in like NFL films history.
You're right.
A guy running to the sideline yelling, "It's out, it's out, it's out!" Like, motherfucker, come on.
That's some Ronnie Lott-ish there. And oh, by the way, Marvin Jones had his 100th game with a touchdown catch. A good portion of that time is one with Matthew Stafford. I swear to God, if he makes the playoffs, if he makes it as the top seed, I might have to look up his middle name and start going with that status.
Oh shit.
Yep. Speaking of quarterbacks, we got to do this. It's time. Big Ben Roethlisberger. Hall of Famer? Yes.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's the end of the road, like Boys to Men.
Although we've come to the end of the road.
Wow.
Trying to work a little bit of Carlton in there.
That's swag, man. No, it's not just today. I've even during the first game against Buffalo, I'm watching his progressions. It's like he doesn't have any more, dude.
You know, it's funny. You push back when I talk about you being a prisoner of the moment, EJ, and the proof of that you are sometimes is you refuse to give yourself the proper credit sometimes. You and you, even harder than me in this case, to your credit, have been warning the Pittsburgh Steelers about Ben Roethlisberger. Chuck Hodgins and Mason Rudolph were not the answer. You need to find his backup, and they have failed to do so, and thus have married themselves to Ben Roethlisberger. Second, you have Najee Harris in the backfield, and you're trying to sell me that he's the next thing, and he's pretty good back. And then you ask him to throw it 58 times? Are you bleeping kidding me? Now, listen, we can poo-poo on Ben all we want to, but Todd, is it still Todd Haley? I don't remember. If it is, yo, Todd, you made Ben at a 5,032 years old throw the ball 58 times. What the hell is wrong with you?
You know, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, I'm in PA, so I deal with a lot more Steeler people.
Well, not necessarily. My job, my employer is the Roonies, so I do deal with a lot.
Don't get me wrong. There are Steeler fans everywhere, but like I live 5 hours from the heart of the beast. So
right, of course, yeah.
Sorry, casino man, you just got trumped. Moving on.
I know. You do the. I'm gonna say the ownership is my paycheck.
Ben, it's been a downward progression. Anybody that tries to deny that it's been a downward progression for a couple seasons is out of their freaking mind. And we're seeing a guy who his throwing arm has like basically been put back together like Luke Skywalker a couple of times.
Wait, breaking news. Look at your screen. Look who's back.
I see.
That's Sasha, right?
That's her. That is her. I think it's a clever way to handle this match. Bianca doesn't lose, but Becky doesn't lose the title.
We're strong.
So let me get this straight. While we're doing a football podcast, you're watching Sasha on the cock. I think that's inappropriate.
Big deals with the biggest storylines, biggest stars of the entire company. So, she's the Mandalorian.
But Ben, I mean, he's not getting in any better shape. The body's not getting any, any healthier in multiple ways, and the arm's dying. We're watching a guy who, when he thought about retirement, should have stopped thinking when he was like, yeah, I think it's probably time. Because like I think he probably had that feeling, and then it got closer to camp and went, you know what, I'll do this again. I can still do this. And it's the it's that like fighter mentality. It's the athlete mentality. I still got this one in me. But and to make the comparison with wrestling, it's the Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 against Roman Reigns. We're watching a guy who shouldn't be in the ring anymore, but still is. And as a guy who don't like the Steelers and am tired of hearing about Sixburg and the other ring and shove the sixth one up where the sun don't shine, I couldn't be happier to see that team struggle. And the fact that they have no clue where they're going next with that position.
And let's get that real quick. So here's the issue with Pittsburgh. You got a quarterback who obviously is not good anymore. You're not bad enough to draft, high or low, whatever you call it, to draft early to get a quarterback. Rudolph, who's a backup, is not good enough. We've seen that already through the years. So what is the play here? Do you go after Deshaun Watson if indeed that situation works stuff out? Do you go after maybe even a stopgap in Cam Newton, maybe a stopgap in Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know, but that's where we're at now at Pittsburgh at this point.
Garoppolo is an intriguing ass concept. In light of the fact that his contract is coming up soon, I'll give you credit there, EJ. What I will tell you is Cam Newton probably won't be an option because I don't think they have the personnel to transition into a run-first squad, which at this juncture, Cam Newton's arm is just as broken, it would appear. And then also you cite Deshaun Watson, which is great. I'm sure Steeler fans would support it, but there's no way they have the draft picks and collateral to make that happen.
I agree. I totally agree with you. All right. One last thing here before we get to one other thing we'll talk about. Which Saints team is real? We see week one. Week one, they blow out Green Bay. Okay, Jameis, who knows? Then week two, that shit show in Carolina. And we go the other way of the meter. The Saints suck. Jameis sucks. He's back to being old Jameis. And then they go to Foxborough. And again, a Pats team that's still trying to figure things out. Got a new quarterback and all that. But they win pretty convincingly in Foxborough today. So we'll go back the other way now, I guess, with the Saints. Which team is real? So we now have two course corrections with the Saints this year so far, 2 or 3 weeks.
What if I told you that both Saints teams that we've seen are real?
Listen, Morpheus, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? No, I'll do you one better. The last time we were course correcting on an NFC South team like this? The 2019 Buccaneers, where one was a quarterback, Jameis Winston, under the Arians, and that Bucs team you were so sure was going to make the playoffs, and then they unfortunately suffer multiple gunshot wounds to the metatarsals that were self-inflicted.
I hit the over, though. I hit the over, and I remember I did the over was 7 wins or 6.5 wins, and I said that's the lock of the year. They'll get at least 7 wins, which they did. The Bucs that year.
No, and I appreciate your optimism being way better than mine on that, but it's that all over again, and Jim is absolutely right doing his Morpheus impression. I just wanted to make the why is Gamora joke.
Here's the thing: like everybody's gonna look at the amazing touchdown catch where Jameis is falling backwards and throws up a prayer and it happens to be caught. But to me, that's exactly. I thought that maybe this was going to be the year. Because you're in the Sean Payton system and you're learning and you're growing and this and that. And you have Drew Brees as your mentor a year ago. That maybe that those were the things that Jameis would do that you're like, dude, like you have the talent, like stop, like you got to be smarter though. And I thought maybe but Jameis is Jameis. So and he's going to make those plays like today, and there's going to be times when it works out, and there's going to be times when the 6 points goes the other way.
Yeah,
and that's just what you have with him. So the Saints, it is going to be a roller coaster ride for them. Saints fans, get ready because what you've seen over 3 weeks is what you're going to see over 17.
It's intriguing because coming to the year, I said this. I said that all 4 teams in the NFC West are making the playoffs. That was my prediction.
Yes, you copied off my paper. I remember.
Yeah, I did that. Good job. Thank you. However, there were 2 teams that can break that up a little bit. One was the Vikings, which finally won today.
Who said the Vikings? I didn't say the Vikings.
I'm saying the Vikings are another team that can bust the wild card situation there.
And I want the Raker to show #you problem, but continue.
Right. Was the Saints. No, I ultimately picked the 4 teams in the West. I'm just saying that the 2 teams that I eyeballed that can break up the monotony in the NFC West was those 2 teams, the Saints and
the Saints. The Saints are on my list as the biggest problem, without having acknowledged that. Holy shit, the Carolina Panthers were 3-0. What?
But are they the Broncos in the NFC though? You know what I'm saying?
Are the Panthers the Broncos of the NFC? Yeah, we'll have to wait till they're tested. It's a good question.
I mean, they have a Saints win, but they also beat Houston and the Jets. So, I mean,
no, you're not wrong. I mean, and first of all, like letting him go into, if I'm him going into East Rutherford to stick it to the place that thought I was bad when it was really Adam Gase, yeah, I'm gonna light stuff up. I mean, listen, we've been talking so much about quarterbacks that keep changing things, and now people who bring vengeance. Can we stop doing our best Brett Favre impression on this show and move on? Anyways.
I know. Jim, anyone add to that?
No, I just think, to me, it's all going to come down to when and not if Jameis makes poor decisions. Are they going to cost them more than they don't? Because that great touchdown grab today, like I said, it could have easily gone the other way. It could have easily been an interception. So, it to me, the Saints could probably be anywhere between, 10-7, 11-6, or flip those numbers. It's just all going to depend how the cookie crumbles and how bad the mistakes cost them.
Great catches bailing out a quarterback. Isn't that how Mike Evans got on the map? Oh, wait, sorry. I made the 2019 Bucks comment already.
One last thing, football-related thing. Justin fucking Tucker. Wow.
That bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Wow.
Tucker, I'm certainly not going to take anything away from him. But, man, you couldn't get a more Lions situation than the delay of game that wasn't called. And again, I get it. Don't put yourself in positions if you don't want, but man, that one seemed real easy. But also to the folks on Twitter, when you try and make the clock was at 0 thing, don't share a snapshot of the screen, because a play clock can show 0 and it not be delay of game.
Correct.
So if you're going to bring examples to the court, bring the video, not the picture, sir. That is all.
Good point. Last thing, we'll let you go. This is obviously not sports related. However, I was at my brother-in-law's and my sister's last week, and we were having a conversation about stuff, and we're talking about The Rock. The Rock came up in a conversation, and he was saying that he's never actually seen a great Rock movie. And I thought about that. I was like, it's funny. Like, I love The Rock, obviously, because of, the WWE background and all that. I also love The Rock as the person, the influencer, the person, celebrity, whatever you call it.
Potential presidential candidate.
But I thought about that when he said that. It's like, you know what? I think it's only been one Rock movie that I actually really enjoyed in the last, maybe 7-8 years. And Kyle, you appreciate this.
Do it.
Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome, bitch? And to be honest, I don't think it's a horrible take. There's a lot of movies he does that are good, not great. But you know what? Doing the great movie that pushes the envelope like you have to do nowadays is not on brand. Now, let's give the dude a little credit. At least he's been better calculated than some other talented actors who made the same mistake. Like, seriously, Pluto Nash, Eddie Murphy, I'm still waiting for my apology letter that you dragged my surname through that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. But I would also ask, does your brother have children?
My brother-in-law.
Yeah, your brother-in-law, excuse me. Does he have children?
3 kids. He has 3 kids.
Okay. If he didn't like Moana and think it was great, that's a him problem.
No, he liked Moana. But he says
then he's arguing against himself, but that's cool. But if you're looking for anything other than him, other than the fun movie, listen, I mean, based on that argument, I mean, now you're back to me saying, well, to his point, I did like the chemistry between Idris Elba and John Cena, a sentence which I'm never supposed to have uttered in my entire life. So, I mean, John Cena acting with Black James Bond / Black Superman, according to the internet masses, right? I mean,
right.
Come on. If you're looking for if you're looking for an Academy Award winning movie, do you cast Robert De Niro and Andy Garcia? Or are you casting Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sly Stallone or John Cena or The Rock? No, you're not. And he's not built to be that guy. His brand is the family fun guy. And he and Kevin Hart, though they're not going to win Academy Awards, are going to make more money at the damn box office. And that's going to be what makes things go.
Here's my thing though with that too also. And I love The Rock. One of my favorite people out there. But even his movies that he's put, let's say the last couple of years alone, like not only aren't they like, I'm not even interested in seeing them. Like the Jungle Cruise, I don't care. Jumanji, no offense, I don't care. Like I haven't seen a movie that I've been interested in seeing from his in years. Not like on him. It's just the stuff he's.
You hate his agent, is what I hear you saying. His agent needs to say no more, is what I'm hearing you say.
No, I'm okay. Take the cash, buddy.
I mean, okay, so you can't have it both ways. And as somebody who regularly tackles this topic on the Hilarity by Default YouTube page, which EJ will never watch, bing.
We talking about? I do watch that. What are you talking about?
How do you do that? It's not audio only. Anyway, thank you for walking right into it.
YouTube is my. But here's the thing though. You're beyond the buzz on YouTube though. At least to my knowledge, anyway.
We're working on that.
You're still working on that, yeah, and podcasting too, by the way. Yeah.
Hey, listen, dude. Okay? We did one show, and then we haven't been on since July. Like, give me a break.
I know.
Here's my honest question. I don't watch a ton of movies anyway. But
you don't?
No, I don't actually.
He gets all the popcorn, but he doesn't watch movies. You gotta love Big Jim.
I don't watch movies. That's kind of a weird.
I mean,
make it make sense.
Like popcorn. Breaking story. News at 11. But like, how many quote unquote rock movies was he like the main star of? You know what I mean? Like, was like, does he have a ton of, the number one name on the marquee is The Rock?
It's funny. It seems like his earlier work is where most of that is happening. Like the Rundown and
the Game Plan. What was the Game Plan with the daughter? Like the Tooth Fairy. Like now it seems to be like he's wasn't he in like Fast 47 or whatever the fuck it was, and like shit like that. So like.
The Rampage movie,
So like, is it movies that have The Rock in them, or is it like The Rock movies?
I think his most serious air quotes effort was when they did the remake of Walking Tall, but again, that's not necessary. That's a cult following kind of. We're not looking to move mountains or make a social commentary with it kind of thing. His best chance is him being cast as Blackadder in the DCEU. But again, we see the DCEU's record as well. I think the problem is his agent and not him. And I'm not talking trash on his ex-wife. I don't mean it like that. Well,
I mean, here's the thing too, and he is a fucking mountain of a man. Like, There's only so many roles that a man like of his stature and size like can like really make sense in, if that like makes sense. Like the bigger he's gotten, I feel like he's worked himself out of like some roles as well. Like,
I mean, he's definitely not going to be cast as Cyrano de Bergerac anytime soon. I get that. But I can also come back with that very same argument with a great defense of 3 words, and may he rest in peace. But Michael Clark Duncan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
fair. But
again,
like,
not a knock. It's not a knock on Rock. I'm just saying that it's the movies that he's put out. I've had no interest in watching. Not because of him. It's just because the product itself.
yeah, and I mean, like, he's a huge star, in every sense of that word. To me, I think his star is almost to the point where the movie might not even have to be good, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds almost funny, but like, does the movie have to be great? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be people that go see a movie with The Rock in it just because The Rock's in it. Like, there's gonna be people that see, there's gonna be people that watch every Adam Sandler movie that hits Netflix. There's gonna be people that like, and so on and so on. It doesn't matter if they're good or not.
Well, right. And I'm sure that a lot of the cats that would go just to see The Rock would be the same people that would listen to 3 Count Thursday with you there, Big Jim. Bing! But, and that is what it is. He crossed in the mainstream.
Soundboards.com to access this sound.
You hear that?
If you already came
You hear that?
from
You
there,
hear it? That's
please
it.
reload the
That's
page.
it, Jim. That's it. That's it.
You guys keep trying to steal our shit, man.
Did I evoke it that well that I evoked that message? Anyways, no, but like, no, the punchline is with that too. And the last jewel I'll leave, representing hilarity by default, is bing. There was supposed to be a project where Disney, which had once done an animated tall tale about John Henry, had cast The Rock to be John Henry. And BLM, SJW, whatever forces you want to call it, shut it down because, and I quote, The Rock wasn't black enough to represent accurately the population, which again is absolutely stupid. Not my words, somebody else's, okay? But the fact that he's of Polynesian descent rather than truly, air quotes, African American, or, whatever you want to call it, that project was scrapped. And I think you had the opportunity for a truly great movie there.
Well,
Why you got to be all serious and stuff, Kyle? Damn.
Yeah, Kyle. They go end it there, as I promised you, be under an hour. So. Yeah,
whatever. I knew I was going to be up late either way tonight.
Yeah, no. Want to plug away?
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're covering sports.
That's true. That's so true. All right, Mr. Nash. Want to plug your menu of things?
Whoa, you're not. Oh no, wait. The celebrity goes last. Sorry, I'll go first, Big Jim. My bad.
That's right.
We know how this works.
At any rate, of course, you can catch me, Kyle Nash, the student of the game, on Twitter at the SOTG. Find me on Instagram as well, the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. Check out my work at the 3-Point Conversion, where I am covering not only the NFL, but college football by way of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the UCF Knights, and other stops in between. And also look for my, 3-Point Conversion, by the way, .com, the number 3, not the letter 3. You might as well just keep the bell on repeat here, gentlemen.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing.
I was just going to do a bell at the end and do it all that way.
Have like a big gong at the end.
Yeah, but I'll work that in. So anyways, the 3pointconversion.com, the number 3, not the letters 3. Of course, check out Facebook at the student of the game. You can see the Jacksonville Jaguars press conference from today. And then also the Hilarity by Default YouTube page, as well as A7BN Sports on Facebook, as well as Beyond the Buzzer with my good friend Danny Thompson, which with all his might tries to tell me that Matt Ryan will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Trust me, it's a lot of fun when we get into that craziness. At any rate, good times all the way around. Thank you for having me aboard. Appreciate the special guest. That is the only true proof that you might actually be a Giants fan. But until next time, everyone, class dismissed. Oh, excuse me.
I'll say we got to get you the gong at the end.
I'm going to gong next. I'm definitely getting a gong. I'm going to get on the load up on here at some point. I was going to say, by my fucking Danny Thompson trying to troll me on Facebook. Hello? Like, dude, your team still sucks. Like, stop. Falcons fan. Anyway.
I mean, they apparently don't suck as much as the blue team that plays at the Meadowlands. You can find me at Big Jim Sports on Twitter. You can check out Huddle Up Podcast. Now, we are taking a bye week this week. But every other Tuesday night, you can find us there. You can find me at 3 Count Thursday on Thursday nights. That is also the number 3, not the words. But 3 Count Thursday, talking pro wrestling every Thursday night. And just to throw this in there, because the Cowboys didn't play today, they play tomorrow. It should be what I think should be a fairly easy win against the Philadelphia Eagles.
4 points.
Hammer them, hammer it, hammer the Cowboys. This team's coming to play tomorrow night. The Eagles aren't going to have what it takes.
If they lose, wait. If they lose tomorrow night, we're going to do an emergency podcast.
No.
I gotta get a reaction.
Broken everything in my house if they lose tomorrow.
I'm gonna FaceTime your ass fucking 11:30 night. Say, hey, how you feeling?
Yeah. Facebook or Huddle Up Podcast, 3 Count Thursday at Big Jim Sports. All the link trees are there, merchandise, all that fun stuff. Check us out.
All right. So no huddle up this week, of course, like I said. I'm glad I got us in. Great job as always, fellas. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Good night. That was good
Stuff.